What's going on YouTube? Welcome back. My name is Dominic, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Lion Electric stock. They just released their Q2 earnings results, and I'm really excited to talk about them with you guys. Of course, I'm going to talk about their Q2 results, and then I'm going to go into why I believe Lion Electric is a great long-term investment in the electric vehicle industry. In fact, I believe it is actually the best electric vehicle investment in 2021, and I'm going to explain why right now. So let's move on further in the presentation. This is going to be the outline. The first thing I'm going to talk about is going to be their Q2 earnings, as I said earlier. Then we're going to go into their fundamentals, their business model, their competitive advantage. Then we'll talk a little bit about their board of directors and why I do like their team. Then we'll go into their growth strategy, any major news, and finally, just a little summary of their investment highlights and again, why I believe they're the best electric vehicle investment in 2021. Alright, so let's look at their Q2 results. As you guys see, the highlighted is relatively new. The rest is just stuff I do want to highlight as well. So as you guys see, Lion Electric delivered 61 vehicles in the second quarter of 2021. That is a lot when you take into consideration that they only delivered 24 vehicles in Q1. Now, a lot of earnings reports go with year-over-year statistics, but since Lion Electric is still a fairly new company, last year they only delivered like 1 or 2 vehicles because they were still in their starting stages. So it's not really fair to compare Lion Electric's 2020 results to their 2021 results. So I'm comparing quarter over quarter instead. And as you guys see, they delivered 24 vehicles in the first quarter of 2021, and now they delivered 61 more vehicles in the second quarter of 2021. So I really hope to see this continued uptrend in their deliveries every single quarter. If so, I feel like we can see a lot of improvement, and hopefully we'll get into the triple digits and even quadruple digits soon enough with their deliveries each quarter. Now, in terms of their revenue for Q2 was $16.7 million, as you guys can see on the screen. They're up about $10 million as compared to $6.2 million in revenue in the first quarter. So again, they're up quarter over quarter in the revenue department as well. Now, they're also up overall in profits. Their actual expenses were up as well because they had more administrative expenses compared to the last quarter. They're just trying to spend some more money to make more money, and you're going to see that with their earnings, which I'm actually going to go into more in depth later on in the video. And finally, guys, the last 4 bullet points are things that they did mention in their business updates category, and I do believe it's important. So as of June 30th, it says that they have $364 million in cash, which is fairly good. On top of that, they just announced that they have an additional $100 million in credit. So they have a revolving credit line of $100 million that they could utilize at any given moment for any expansion or business opportunity they deem necessary. Additionally, they have a new order book with the business update for this quarter of 965 vehicles, which is very good. It's an improvement. Last quarter, they had a order book of about 860, I think, vehicles. So they did add a couple of vehicles there. And some of the new orders that they had on this new order book were from Amazon. Amazon ordered 15 Lion 8 trucks, which I think is huge. As we mentioned earlier, Amazon has a chance to redeem 20% of Lion Electric's company through warrants. And on top of that, guys, Amazon is just a great, huge company that could benefit from going electric. And if Lion Electric can actually secure a big portion of Amazon's electric vehicles contracts, we're going to be set as investors, and Lion Electric is going to make a lot of money. All right, guys, so this is important. This is a new order from Amazon. They originally ordered a certain amount of vehicles. They're ordering 15 more because they liked what they saw in Lion Electric, guys. If they didn't like the quality that Lion Electric was making these vehicles in, they wouldn't be ordering more. So this is a great beneficial sign for us as investors, showing that they're making a good product. Finally, they had a repeat order of 35 buses from a local Canadian school district. I know my webcam kind of covers some of what I just said for the last bullet point. It doesn't really matter what the school district is. I think it's Prince Edward's, but at the end of the day, it's another repeat order for 35 more buses, so that's good as well. They're getting repeat orders from Amazon and from other local school districts, which means that they're liking the vehicles that they're getting and they want to order more. So again, very good signs. Their customers are happy with the products they're buying and they want to buy more. Now let's talk a little bit about their fundamentals and why I like Lion as a company to begin with. So first off, they have a $3.6 billion market cap which is fairly small when you look at the total market that they're actually operating in. They have an emerging $110 billion market, which is the clean energy space, and this is specifically clean energy trucks and clean energy buses. Now, if they do want to branch out to other aspects as well, the market is only going to grow as the trucking market and the electric school bus market is going to grow year over year as well. What's something that's really important is that they have the first movers advantage. Last year in 2020, they were the only company that had vehicles on the road today of electric trucks and electric school buses. So this was the first movers advantage from a publicly traded company perspective, and that's huge. When you're the first company in an industry, you tend to have a lot of advantages. You can, build your technology faster because you actually have products being used, and it's just an overall net benefit for us as investors looking into a company if they have a first movers advantage. On top of that, they announced that they have a $1.1 billion contract with Amazon. And of course, as I said earlier, they had an order book at least around Q1 of 817 vehicles. We now know that has improved to 965. So they've added about 150 more vehicles to their order book over the past quarter. Very good results so far, and it's only going to continue to grow. When you look at their product lineup, they currently have 7 products available today. They have the Line 6, the Line 8, the Line 8 Reefer, and the Line 8 Refuse truck. On top of that, they have 3 electric buses, the Line M, the Line A, and the Line C. So for the electric trucks, as you guys see, the Line 6 and Line 8 are 2 different classes. So trucks are, divided by classes. You have Class 6, Class 7, Class 8. So Line has came out with a Class 6 electric truck, which is called the Line 6, and the Class 8 electric truck, which is called the Line 8. And on top of that, they have 2 different modifications for the Line 8 truck, where you have a Refuse, which is, I guess, used for, waste and things like that. And they have a Line 8 Reefer, which is a refrigerated Line 8, Class 8 truck. That's very good. It says they have purchases by top customers. And as you guys can see by some of these logos, there's some well-known companies. They have purchases by Amazon, Waste Connections, Hydro-Quebec, Transport Canada, Transdev. There's a couple well-known companies on here who are purchasing not only their trucks, but some of their electric buses as well. On top of that, their electric buses are not just school buses. As you guys see, the Line M is a shuttle bus that could be used from city to city, just local transportation just around the city as well. It's not just a school-specific bus that they're producing. As I just mentioned earlier, there are 7 trucks or 7 different vehicles they have available. They plan to have 8 more vehicles available by the end of 2022, guys. By the end of 2021, they plan to announce their Line 8 tractor truck, their Line 8 bucket truck, the Line 6 utility truck, and another school bus called the Lion D. So that's by the end of 2021, guys. We're only a couple months away from these new vehicles coming into production for Line Electric, which will only increase the revenue. So we could look at that as an upcoming catalyst. On top of that, when we look at 2022, by the end of 2022, they plan to have a Class 5 truck, a Class 7 truck, a Line 8 boom truck, and an ambulance. So there's a lot to like about Line Electric. They're producing these vehicles very quickly. And as you guys see, they're doing very well. By the time Rivian and Nikola have their first vehicles on the road, which I think might have been a couple months ago earlier in the year, Line Electric already has 7. By the time Tesla announced their semi-truck by the end of 2021, Lion's going to have 11 vehicles available for purchase that could be used today. So they're further ahead than all of their competitors. Even when we look at Helion, they don't launch their first truck. Helion doesn't launch their first truck till 2022. By 2022, we're going to have 15 trucks in production and ready for use. So Line Electric is ahead of their competitors by far. And there's really no other comparison you can compare Line Electric to at the moment. They're just so far ahead on the publicly traded market, at least. Now this is their board of directors. We have Mark Bedard, which is their CEO and founder, Nicholas Brunette, which is their executive vice president and chief financial officer. And then you have Ian Robertson, which is the director and vice chair for Line Electric, and he actually came from the SPAC Northern Genesis that they merged with. But the one person I really do want to talk about is going to be Mark Bedard. A company CEO is huge when looking into a stock to invest in. You're going to want to trust the CEO. That's the boss. That's the big guy. He's running the company. He's calling the shots. And if you don't like a company CEO, you should not be investing into them. So I have looked at plenty of interviews and different just things that I can look up from Mark Bedard. He's done plenty of interviews on CNBC, and honestly, this man is very, very smart. Of course, when you hear him in his interviews, he does stutter a little bit. That's mainly because he speaks French first. English is, I think, his second or third language. So when he does speak English in his interviews, you can tell his brain's trying to process what he wants to say. But in general, he's a very smart guy, and he founded Line in 2008 before electric vehicles were a trend. And that's something that's really, really important to me, because a lot of these SPACs are trying to merge with companies that just started. Northern Genesis, which is a SPAC, decided to merge with Line Electric, which has been around since 2008. This isn't just a new idea. The CEO of Line Electric decided, hey, let's make some money. Electric vehicles are trending. Let's make an electric vehicles company. He's been around since 2008, and this is what he really wants to do. He believes in clean energy, and he has believed in clean energy for years now. And that's why I do like Mark Bedard. It says he has 20 plus years of experience in various senior executive positions, including as a partner at PwC. So he has a lot of experience, and of course he's a visionary, and you're going to want your CEO to have that vision. And again, when you founded a company, an electric vehicle company in 2008, you had to have had that vision, because it wasn't trending back then. It wasn't a trendy thing for electric vehicle companies to be around. I mentioned earlier that they had a $110 billion total market, TAM. This is what we're looking at here. When you combine the medium and heavy duty urban trucking market of $100 billion and the annual school buses market of $10 billion, you combine the two, you get $110 billion, and that's the emerging market that I'm looking at. Of course, this is only going to continue to grow, guys. All of these trucking in the trucking industry, they're going to slowly start to convert to electric, which means that the actual TAM is only going to continue increasing year over year. The best thing too, schools aren't going anywhere. People are going to be going to school, to and from school, for the rest of eternity. So having electric school buses is going to be a great thing, because it's going to be a constant demand for new school buses. Even 20, 30 years from now, when, let's say, the whole world is electrified, some school buses are going to break down. They're going to want to buy newer ones that have better technologies in them, and Line Electric can still resell these school buses. So there's a lot of upsell and resell potential to the same clients that they sold to before, which makes this a sustainable investment. You can hold Line Electric for 10, 15 years, and the revenue is only going to continue increasing. Now, their plan to grow is to target North America's largest truck fleet owners. So it says that their actual goal is to try the Line 150. And they're basically saying that the Line 150 is Line's framework for identifying and targeting top truck fleets in North America. So they're looking for the top 150 truck fleet owners in America, and they're targeting them, saying, hey, we offer electric vehicles. Would you like to start discussions with us? Now, as you guys can see on the right hand side, it says that they're currently engaged in conversations with UPS, FedEx, Nestle, Pepsi, Anheuser-Busch, DHL, Cintas, Waste Management, Republic Services, Waste Connection, Con Edison, Duke Energy, a bunch of well-known companies on there. In fact, Con Edison has been a great partner of Line Electric for a while now. In fact, I think they partnered with them to have the V2G, vehicle to grid technology systems in New York City. So they have done very, very well with Con Edison. And as you guys can see, they're doing very, very well. They know the companies they want to target, and they're only going to continue targeting these companies until they start to buy electric vehicles. Okay, so this is the first quarter results. I mentioned their second quarter results, so I don't want to go over this too much. In their first quarter, nothing big really happened. They delivered the 10 Amazon vehicles. On top of that, they announced an order of 260 school buses from First Student. But other than that, guys, their quarter two results are more up to date. And as you guys can see, they grew in quarter two compared to quarter one. And that's just the main thing you want to see. You want to see growth quarter over quarter, and that's what they've been doing. Finally, guys, this is their investment highlights, a summary of why I love Line Electric as a company. I think Line Electric is promising for a couple reasons, and here's why. First off, they have the first movers advantage, guys. That's huge. They're the first movers in an emerging market that's only going to continue to grow, which is the clean energy, electric school busing, and electric trucking field. That's huge. They're the first movers in that industry. It's going to be big for Line Electric. They have a $1.1 billion contract with Amazon for options for Amazon to actually own the company. And on top of that, if they do like what they see, Amazon's going to continue ordering trucks and vehicles from Lion Electric, and that's what they've already done, as I mentioned in the Q2 results. Amazon did like what they saw, and they ordered 15 more vehicles from Lion Electric. I mentioned they have an emerging $110 billion market, which is huge. They're a small company in a huge market that's only going to continue to grow. And finally, they have an order book of, I need to update this, but they have an order book of 965 vehicles for a total of $280 million worth of revenue that could be redeemed, right? So that's a lot of money that's on the table for them in the future if they do fulfill in these order books, which they will. Their order books are only growing, which is going to increase the revenue as well. And that's what we want to see, guys. So I do love Lion Electric as an investment. My biggest holding in any stock right now is Lion Electric by a mile. My average is $17, so I'm not going to lie to you. I am down, I think, 20 or 25% as of right now. That's not a big deal to me. I'm very, very bullish on this company, and I have been buying Lion Electric on the dip. This is a company I believe in, and I will not stop believing in this company until they give me a reason not to. Anyways, guys, I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please subscribe down below, like the video as always, turn on post notifications, and let me know down in the comments, what do you think about Lion Electric? Are you invested in Lion? Do you believe in them long term? Let me know your thoughts, and I'll speak to all of you guys in the next video. Peace.